Good day, money makers! My name is Mr Du Plessis, aka the EMS guy. Welcome to this channel. Today it's part 2 of my first video and we're talking about the government, what's the levels, different levels, and a few definitions. So if you haven't watched the first video, please be sure to check it out. So let us shift our education now. Radio, we're back. The previous video we talked about the national government. Good job. Now it's time to switch hats. We're going to the next level of government, which is called the provincial government. How many provinces do we have? You are correct, 9. Okay, it looks like the baton is in your hands. Let's look at it. Who's the leader of the province? We call him a premier. Your first assignment is to find out who's the premier of your province. In my province, I'll give you a hint. In the Eastern Cape, it's Premier Oscar. And I'm going to give you that assignment to find out the rest of his details. Right, so the provincial government is the second tier of the government. So we have the national government. They debate laws in parliament. They make sure that the policies are in place. And then they do handover to the provincial government to say, how are we going to implement it? You must have a plan of action. This is your vision. This is your mission. How are you going to get the people excited? So they put on their hats, hard hats. This is why if you fall from a mountain bike, it's hard. So strap on your boots. So they get the orders from the national government, and in the 9 provinces, they now have to take this charge forward. So we said it's a premier. This is a picture of the premier of the Eastern Cape. And part of their jobs is to make sure that the jobs they allocate goes to the right people. Now the right people in this instance is the local government. Now why do I wear headphones? They need to understand the message that the provincial governments gets from the national. So it's almost like a telephone game, right? You hear something from someone else, but if it's not the same message, we'll end up with 2 different outcomes. So as the local government, they need to get the information from the provincial government. Who's the head of a local government? It's the mayor, right? And that's in municipalities. South Africa has got 283 small municipalities. That's incredible. Do you want to run one of those? I tell you, it's bigger than a business. So we split up local municipalities into 3 parts. The big municipalities called metros or metropolitans. That's not how you dress. No. That is the 8 biggest cities in South Africa. And they group them together to say, how will we govern the biggest cities to set an example for the smaller ones to follow? Second is the local municipalities. And a quick snippet of the, this is the 8 metros. But the local municipalities is 231. Is these smaller local municipalities. So bottom right, you can see a layout of South Africa, right? And the different provinces. So all of these small municipalities, they are called local municipalities. But then you get the small ones, small communities. Now to have a mayor for all of them, that would be overkill. So then we can group them together into a, you're right, a district of municipalities. Now when we have all of them working together, and in the next video we're going to talk about their roles towards you and me, that's when we understand why it's important to have them. So remember, it's about listening to the message that they got from provincial, that they got from national. I hope that makes sense. So the last bit that I want to add as a local government, some of their objectives, and you can identify with this, is they must make sure it's democratic and it's accountable. Democratic means you have a vote. You're not forced to vote for everyone. If you're over 18, you can vote, and your vote counts. And they must be accountable. So whatever they do, they must account for. They must do it. So there's no excuses. They provide essential services to communities, fresh water, housing, flushing toilets. All of that is so important. And then they promote social and economic development. Now the picture is, you see, you invest money. But it's not just about money, it's about the hands, the people. But in that, we must make sure that we don't destroy our planet. We call it the triple bottom line, the 3 Ps. People, planet, and profit. Right, so what services do they render? Electricity delivery, water that we use. We sometimes take water from a tap as granted, right? It's not the right way. Sewage and sanitation, stormwater systems, refuse removal, and firefighting services. Without these essential services, we'd be a sitting duck if something happens. So, as a recap, we need to understand that there's this chain of events, and if they don't work together, then nothing would happen on lower level, even if they have the best plan. So it must be implemented straight through. Make sure you understand these key concepts, and I'll see you in the next video.